It all started almost 2 decades ago. A far-fetched idea came to Dr. John Bell and a PhD student over Christmas of 1999. They observed that cancer cells often have defects in the genes meant to protect them against viruses. So they took some virus samples out of the freezer, infected some cells, and the next morning, the result was clear. The cancer cells were blown away by the viruses while the normal cells remained healthy. Of course, it's not that simple, but Dr. John Bell and his team have paved the way for innovative research on cancer-fighting therapies that can potentially avoid the use of chemotherapy.
The real challenge in cancer today is that we have these tumors that are inside of our bodies, and we want to destroy that tumor without harming the normal tissues. And the limitation in most kinds of therapies out there today are like chemotherapy, radiation therapy, is unfortunately they both attack the tumor and to some extent the normal tissues. So patients have the side effects that you're very familiar with. They lose their hair, but they also become immunosuppressed and they have sores in their mouths. It's because the treatment also attacks their normal tissues as well as the tumor. So our goal is to try to make something very specific, something that only attacks the cancer and leaves all your normal tissues unaffected. And so we've come up with the idea of designing or engineering viruses that will specifically infect and kill cancer cells, but won't infect any of your normal tissues.
Clinical trials in cancer patients at the Ottawa Hospital and around the world are showing promise.
We've been working on this for a long time, and we've actually worked with different kinds of virus products. One virus is now in the last stages of testing. It's called phase 3 testing. It's being tested to see if it works in liver cancer. So that's been a trial being done around the world right now, and the results of that trial will come out in another year or two. But our other products are a bit earlier on, and some of them are just in the lab, and we're working on making them better. Some have gone into clinical trials here in Ottawa and across the country at different sites, and we're looking to see, are they safe in people, what's the best way to dose them, showing the activity that we want to see. And then after that, if those trials continue to be successful, we'd move on to another stage of trials where we'd say, is it better than the standard of care therapy that's currently out there? So we're sort of in the midst of it, sort of at all parts of the spectrum.
Although this treatment is being tested on many cancer patients with different types of cancer, those who suffer from pancreatic cancer would see new hope in their battle.
Pancreatic cancer is a challenging disease because it has a unique biology. There's not only the cancer, but it surrounds itself, it cloaks itself with normal tissues to hide it from the patient's immune system. So we think pancreatic patients have a chance to benefit from new therapies we're developing. These new therapies are based upon the virus, and for the virus to actually not only infect the cancer, but also secrete little bombs, as it were, that we design that go out and kill the surrounding tissues that are hiding that tumor. And this is work being done by a colleague of mine, Caroline Ilko, in the lab, who's designing viruses which have sort of a double whammy in their attack. And so the dream there is that although pancreatic's tough to treat because it has a stealthy mechanism, or cloaking mechanism, we think the viruses have a chance to reveal them to the immune system and allow the immune system to come in and attack the cancer.
One Ottawa woman who knows far too well the effects of pancreatic cancer is Cindy Hooper. She was diagnosed 5 years ago and has miraculously survived longer than many doctors thought. For her, oncolytic virus research could mean the difference between life and death for her.
My cancer will come back. Pancreatic cancer, I'm at 4 years and a couple of months. Average survival for pancreatic cancer is only 7% live to 5 years, and there are no 10-year survival stats. So even though I've made it this far, my cancer will come back. And when it comes back, there's no more surgery that can be done, and there is no chemotherapy that works. So yeah, I have huge hopes for these oncolytic viruses, because when mine comes back, I hope that that's what's going to be used to wipe it out.
Cindy is participating in the Ottawa Marathon this weekend. Her, along with her team, Marathoners Gone Viral, are running to raise money for further research at the Ottawa Hospital.
It's so inspiring for me. Pretty much every friend or family member that I have is running on this team with me. So the amount of support is just, it's mind-blowing, it's overwhelming, it's incredible, it's really wonderful. So, you know, I think a lot of them are doing it to support me, but a lot of them are also doing it to support what's happening at the Ottawa Hospital. And like I said, almost everybody that I know knows somebody that's being touched by cancer. So it's very personal for a lot of people.
The research team at the Ottawa Hospital know they would not be able to come as far as they have if not for runners like Cindy.
To have people like that who are really passionate about trying to find a cure. And you know, Cindy obviously wants us to find things that will help her, but I know it goes beyond that. She wants to find things that will help all pancreatic cancer patients and other kinds of cancer patients, because she's just that sort of person. And having people like that support us is amazing, and I think it's the way that we actually will break through and make curative new therapies for people.